you go. Morning. Can you do the 8 ways?
Let's start with overproduction, excess inventory, wasted motion, transportation, time, potential, defects, and processing.
All right, very good. Excellent job. Thank you.
I wanted to do something a little bit different than pictures today. And I wanted to start out why Handsome Plastics. So part of the sales group, we get this question a lot, why Handsome Plastics? So the number one question that is asked by customers, whether they are a new customer or a potential customer, is why should we do business with Handsome Plastics? And I think we would all agree lately this has been kind of a big question with our customers, as I've gotten asked many times, why should we do business with you? So as we start this presentation, I want you to think about 3 brands and Harley Davidson. And I know some guys out here have Harleys. And Kenny, you probably know people who have Harley tattoos, right? Harley's probably the most widely recognized brand in the world right now. Apple, I think there's probably many of us here have Apple products. And another one, well, talking about Apple, Microsoft. Microsoft probably does things better than Apple in many applications, but Apple gets people to come buy them. They have a cult following. Southwest Airlines, usually talked in lean thinking books. Southwest Airlines has a big following. I've never flown Southwest. I don't know anything about them besides what I've read in their books. Hold on, can you go back one second, Robert? But the one thing that, out of the lean thinking book, that all these companies talk about is their culture. So, what do our customers really want? We did a survey, 40 different people, Joe, 40, of various customers and various positions that our customers represent within their organizations. These are the reoccurring themes that they talk about. They talk about price, the quality, delivery, and product offerings. So what are our customers saying right now? This same survey produced some of these things. They talked about Hanson's problem-solving skills. They're being open-minded, state-of-the-art technology, their quality, responsiveness, their ESOP program, tool transfer program management, lifetime tool guarantee that comes with in-house tool design. That's some of the things, the recurring things that these customers have talked about lately about Hanson. But the question is, do our customers really know why? Because right now, we know we're not the cheapest. We might not have the best product quality. We might not have the best on-time delivery. We might not have the best product offerings. But customers still come to us, right? And they stay with us. So, do our customers really know why? Probably not. They have some evidence in the previous slide. But the main thing I want to point out here is they have trouble explaining why. So, asking ourselves, all of us, what does HPC do? It's really hard to explain. We sat down, there's a couple of us sat down when we were going through our rebranding of Handsome Plastics to try to figure out what we do. It was really hard to explain. Joe was part of that meeting. Tom was part of that meeting. I think Bob was part of that meeting at the time. It's really hard to explain what we do. We always talk about the what's and the hows. We refer back to our design capabilities, RJG, machines, and so on, the what's. But what is our purpose? What is our cause? And what is our release? So a lot of time that we spend on the what's and the hows. Our work instructions, our training, procedures, machines, RJGs, molds, products, Kanban, lean manufacturing, 2-second lean, whatever we want to call it. We talk about our what's and our hows a lot. But I think one thing that we've lost as a company, we've lost why we do it. And I know in listening to the readings of Lean Thinking, and I've been one of the people that worked at a couple different organizations where we went through that book and done the same process at various stages. Every place I've been, they've always emphasized the culture. And in the book, is it Womack, right? He talks about the culture all the time. Interesting story I just found out about the Wright brothers. I did not know. There was a guy by the name of Langley. He was the main guy with the airplane. He had everything he had was better. He was more qualified, better educated, better facilities, more money, government backing. Everything he had was better. But the Wright brothers were driven by a cause, a purpose, a belief that they could change the world. It was much bigger than the Wright brothers. With Langley, he had two things. He wanted to be rich and he wanted to be famous. Well, he had a lot of great people working for him, but really what they wanted, they just wanted to go and have a job, get some money, and that was it. But they didn't have the dream. He didn't have the dream like the Wright brothers did. He didn't have the culture that the Wright brothers did. So who was more successful? Obviously the Wright brothers. So what I'm getting at here is an interesting concept I just learned about called the golden circle. And it starts with how our brain works. It starts with why, the how, and the what. And the why is the motivator. And I found this very interesting because this all is about biology and how the brain works. It's how the brain is designed. We communicate as humans from the outside in. So we talk about facts and figures and benefits and numbers. And I think everybody would agree here that this company is driven by data, correct? We talk a lot about data. We market to our customers that we are a data-driven organization. This is all great, but this part of the brain doesn't drive the decision-making behavior that we have. I found that very fascinating. So our brain works in outside level with rational thinking, analytical thought, key point language, because we can always repeat facts, figures, benefits, and features. That middle level is the feelings, trust, loyalty. What's the other one? Feelings, trust, and loyalty. But there's no capacity in this part of the brain to talk. There's no language here, no language capacity. But this is the level that creates the behavior for decision making. The inner core of the brain is the why, and that's the motivator. So, if we know why, it's easier to communicate to the part of brain that is decision making, because we all know by working together we're all different, right? So if I talk to the tool room guys, they're different than the maintenance guys, they're different from the value stream leaders, that are different from the sales guys, that are different from accounting. We're all different. We all have different motivators. Our brains think differently. But what creates systems or people and cultures, in the case of Harley Davidson, when I look at Ken here, because I know he rides a lot of Harleys, it's a culture, it's a cult, right? It's almost like a religion. Most, I think over 30% of Harley's revenues are all based on shirts and apparel, jackets and stuff like that. It's a culture. It's a cult. So you can't, in order to succeed, you got to have passion. You got to have structure. But if they don't come together, you don't have success. Some companies have the structure, but they don't have the passion, and they don't succeed. When we think about Apple and Harley and Southwest Airlines, there's other companies out there that do it better than them, right? I think we would all agree. There's better motorcycles, right, Ken? There's better airlines, there's better Microsoft products, right? They just have it. You can't explain it, they just have it. So I just thought this was a little bit thought-provoking rather than different pictures of some of the things that we see out here. And it corresponds with Tim is trying to communicate to everyone that maybe we need to look at different things a little bit differently, think about the culture a little bit more, think about why we talk about things, how we communicate with each other, and really get back to what does Hanson Plastics do? Why do we do it? Because there's molders out there that are bigger, better, badder, but we've got something that somebody else doesn't have. If we can communicate that better internally, we can communicate that better externally. And then we find out how we succeed in our lean manufacturing journey. So it's just something a little bit different today, out of the ordinary.
All right. Thanks, Lee.